Boss, thank you for joining us. First place to start, the new arrival of Danny Johnson coming into the club.
Yeah, we're delighted. Very interesting one with Danny. We've tracked him and followed him for a long time now. There were some discussions going back about 18 months or so, where Justin had met with him and we'd spoken to him about the potential about signing him, and it never quite come off at that stage. So we've continued to follow him, and he's a player that we're delighted to be bringing into the club.
The addition of him to the squad actually gives us a lot of strength and depth in them forward positions. You're going to have a lot of headache selecting teams.
Yeah, of course. And you'd much rather that than not being able to have it. I think what we've started to do, obviously, in recent times, obviously primarily in the transfer window, is we've tried to recruit in areas that we feel obviously that are going to strengthen us, but at the same time that are going to create competition for places. So if people are not in the team, they're always putting pressure on the people that are to perform, and I think we've been able to do that in the positions that we've recruited during the window so far.
The third new face through the door, and we're approaching the deadline Friday. Could we expect anyone else to walk in?
Yeah, I've said I think previously that we had a number of players that we had our eyes on, and it doesn't always go to plan. You don't always get people in at the time that you want, or sometimes you don't get the targets that you want. So there's a couple of areas in that we're looking to continue to strengthen on. There's a couple of plans in place, as has been the case already throughout the window, without us getting too carried away and putting statements or names or positions on it. Things and circumstances can change so quickly. So I'd be delighted if we can certainly try to recruit at least one more. How quickly or if that's going to be done within the next couple of days will obviously depend on the player and the club that they're at.
And now focusing specifically on the weekend just gone, it was a fantastic result against Newport County, 2-1 victory. Yeah,
I think that's exactly what it was. It was a fantastic result. It's one that we've all craved. I think on a number of occasions we've deserved to get a little bit closer to getting a win, but we haven't done. So I think that was first and foremost the most important thing, is that we felt that winning feeling again. And I was delighted for the boys that when I walked into the changing room after the game at the weekend, there was that little bit of relief, that little bit of relaxation in their body language and the faces that I was looking at. And that's a nice thing to see. It's what we're all in it for, and it's what we all haven't experienced enough this season. So by no means do we get carried away by it. I've had some wild comments thrown after the game because we pick up first win and we experience that feeling again. But by no means can we get carried away. It's now about building and getting better and giving ourselves more opportunity to experience winning more games of football on a more regular basis.
And we picked up the 3 points, and as well as the win in that game, the tribute to Justin Edinburgh, the West Stand being renamed to the Justin Edinburgh Stand, was a fantastic touch from the club.
Magnificent. For me, the perfect tribute to a wonderful man and someone that's done not so much, done so much for the club and given us so much to be happy about in recent times. But from a personal perspective, I think he's done so much for so many players and the staff that are at the club. So I'm delighted that he's been recognised. I'm delighted for the family that they can look up and see Justin's name on the top of the stand, and also for the foundation. I think it's a magnificent touch, and not only is it the Justin Edinburgh stand, but the JE3 Lego it takes pride of place on the stand. So I think it's a fantastic tribute by the club, and I'm just really pleased that we could pay him and put a smile on his face by putting 3 points on the board.
All in all, Saturday was a fantastic day, but quickly moving forward, and we've got a game tomorrow night against Crewe.
Yeah, it's where we're at the moment. I think I said to you last week that let's get the Crewe one. Let's get the Newport game prioritised first and foremost, and now that's as soon as that one's finished, the turnaround so quick that now it's about focusing on what goes on at Crewe. So recovery and recuperation in terms of the boys that when we're out there on the pitch at the weekend is key. It's vital because we've got the games coming thick and fast. And then today it was about going out and preparing ourselves best so that we can go to Crewe and deliver a performance similar to the one that we put in when we played here. I felt that we give Crewe a real good game that day. It was unfortunate with a penalty miss or the penalty save that we experienced on that night and losing so late on. But I thought on the whole there was a general good performance that night. So we'll be looking to go there tough, knowing it's a good team at the level, but we've given ourselves a hell of a lot of opportunity this year and performed well against some of the stronger teams. So we'll be looking to go and do that tomorrow night.
As you say, given the previous result, it would be nice to avenge that match.
That's where we're at on a lot of occasions this year. You know, there's been games where we haven't performed well or we haven't come out of games for whatever reason with the points that we want or we deserve or don't deserve on a particular occasion. But now it's the flip side of the season, and we're coming up against teams that perhaps we drop points against, and we don't want that to happen to us twice. So we'll go into it confident. We'll go into it with our chest puffed out that little bit more and ready to go and embrace the challenge.
Some of the fans have commented on how well Usise has gelled so early into the season. He had a really good performance on Saturday, and he's really helped the team move forward.
Yeah, I think since he's come into the group, he's shown something that's a value to me. Is the type of character that he is. You know, he's had some fantastic experiences, not just in this country as a footballer, but abroad as well. And I think when you see him at times at the weekend, he shows that little bit of culture and that little bit of class that he's got as a footballer. But his presence as a big strapping lad has added something to our team. But the personality and the character that we were really keen on once we sort of started doing our digging and our findings on bringing him into the club are starting to come out as well. So he's fitted into the group really well. We have to be patient in terms of, probably haven't seen him at full throttle yet. And I've had to take him off in his first game, and then obviously in the latter stages again. But the last thing we want at the moment is to put a player who's added value to the group on the back foot by picking up an injury. So we still have to keep monitoring that and making sure that we do right by him. But I think we've already seen that we've brought in a player that's going to add a hell of a lot to the group.
And someone else who probably deserves a mention, Ruel Sotiri. What a fantastic performance from the lad, and he's picked up his third League Two goal. Brilliant. Absolutely delighted for Ruel. He had, I suppose, a slow start to the season. Couldn't get himself in the team. Went out on loan and did exactly what we hoped and wanted from him by going out and scoring goals in the National League, which was the next phase and the next step of his development. He came back and as we said to him, you get your opportunity in the team, and he done that. He come in. He got 2 goals in 3 games, I believe it was. And then he missed a couple. But what I was delighted for with Ruel was he maintained a real good focus and a real good level of professionalism to make sure that he was ready. And when he was given his opportunity, he's taken it with both hands at the weekend. I thought he worked tirelessly. He gave us a bit of a different dynamic to the way that the game looked and what he could give us going forward. And I was delighted that he got not just for everybody around it, but personally for him, that he got on the end of that cross to finish it, because it was a really well worked goal, really well worked move that we looked at throughout the week. But for him to get on the end of it, he's the final touch that we all needed and wanted. And linking from there, loan moves to Dover. Shad's gone there. He's played twice, 2 clean sheets and a fantastic goal. It must be really good to see him going out and producing. Yeah,
and same thing really. I'm sure people would raise an eyebrow and say, why are you letting lad out at this stage of the season when someone like Joe Widdowson was injured? But it's my job to look at the bigger picture for Shadrach and all of the young players at this football club. And the one thing that I would say with Shad is he hasn't had the experiences that we wanted him to have. He missed a hell of a lot of football last year, to no fault of his own, in terms of being able to put him out on loan. And this year he's shown patience, but he's a young boy. And because of his physique and the size and some of the little performances he's put in when he's played here, but we all get excited about the things that he can do. But the biggest part of him now is to go out and show that he can do that and sustain that and improve his levels of fitness and show his qualities that he's got. And we've watched his clips. We've had him watched, and people have been to see how he's performing, and the reports coming back so far of a good standard. So it's about him building that over a period of time now, and then as staff at this club we have high hopes of the type of player that he can become.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, boss.
Cheers, mate.